YouTubies, how's it going? Welcome back for another mental health update. Oh my goodness. Lately it's been quite a ride with my mama having a stroke, which she is doing excellent. She's actually already amazed the doctors that she's doing as well as she is, as well as her physical therapist, and definitely me. So I think it could have been a lot worse if I hadn't got her talked into going to the hospital as quickly as I had. I didn't think she'd even go. As stubborn as she is, she's stubborn as a mule. And I really seriously did not think she'd go at all. My very first thing, as soon as I realized she had a stroke, my first thing I mentioned was asking her if I needed to call an ambulance. Oh boy, no on that idea. She did not want to go by ambulance, which I don't blame her. I understand. It just is my first thought because I was wanting to get her there quickly as possible. I didn't need to scare her or irritate her or anything like that. But so that was a no. That was a flat no. No ifs, ands, or buts. So I backpedaled on what I said and reversed it and talked her into having me, my dad, and Anthony take her to the hospital ourselves. That worked. And because we got her there so quickly, I think that was the key factor in her recovery. She's already been practicing a lot on her handwriting so she can get her handwriting back, and it's already readable, very readable. I have a couple of little low poundage weights that I use occasionally when exercising. I got a little ankle weight that's like a pound. I got a little set of dumbbells. Well, actually I have two ankle weights that are a pound, but I can only find one at the moment. So I took it out to her so she could at least start using it. Same with the little dumbbells. I have two of them, but for some reason I can only find one at the moment, probably because I can't see right now very well. But so I went ahead and it's a 5-pound weight. I took that out to her, and the day after she came home from the hospital, she already started practicing on all that stuff, lifting the weights, a few reps per arm, a few reps per leg. I have a squeezy ball it's a little rubber ball. It was actually originally a cat toy because Bruce, when he was a kitten, used to pack it around. It's about yay big. He used to pack it around like a dog. In so many ways, he acts like a dog. But he used to play with it more often. So immediately I got her started on that, using that as a squeezy toy, particularly for her right hand that she was having trouble with. And that's helped a lot. Funny thing is, the other day she had the ball laying in her chair, her easy chair. And I guess while they were gone to town, Bruce found it and had been playing with it. So she had to retrieve it and put it back in her chair so she could, continue using it. I've been doing pretty good, but it's been rough for me because Dad is more of the, as far as when cooking the meals, Dad is more of the morning cook. He always cooks breakfast, even before Mom had a stroke. He always cooks breakfast for Mom, and he cooked it for Anthony and I if we were awake or if we wanted it. But he always cooks for him and Mom, and he has certain things he cooks on certain days. Like certain days is oatmeal days, certain days is scrambled eggs or even fried eggs and bacon and toast, things like that. Set food theme of the day, I guess you say. But so he's not really so much the evening cook, and since Mom has no strength to cook right now like she wants to, and Anthony doesn't have any energy or strength to cook on a daily basis like this, I have had to take it upon myself to do the evening cooking. And that has been hard for me because I'm not used to cooking every day because of chronic fatigue. I get worn out so bad. But nonetheless, taking it upon myself to do it. And so far I'm doing pretty good, but it's been rough. Partly it's because I need to pre-plan some meals in advance of what I'm going to cook on certain days. So I think I gotta come up with some ideas while I go of what I'm going to cook on certain days. So that will help a lot to have things. Otherwise, I go in the kitchen and I'm like, what am I going to fix? And I search around for a little while until I come up with something. Anthony and I aren't so picky. We'll eat pretty much anything. But my parents, it's a different story, particularly Dad. It's like he thinks on every meal, he's got to have some sort of meat, particularly beef, whether it be steak or hamburgers or, meatballs, something of that nature, something beefish. Occasionally he'll eat chicken, and occasionally he'll eat turkey. And once in a while he'll eat fish. If it's fried fish that Mom fixes, which I hate it when she cooks fried fish. She cooks in old oil and it stinks up the house. I don't want to puke. So it's a good thing that I'm doing the cooking right now. So we avoid the fried fish. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, plus he always thinks he's got to have bread with every meal. So when I go in the kitchen, I'm trying to scramble around and come up with something to fix that particularly he will like. That's hard. So, but a friend helped me out a while ago with some ideas of some themes to go with, or meals to go with each day, which that will help. May not be everything set in stone every single day, but at least it'll kind of give me a rough draft of things to fix. So, but because not only because I've cut out chocolate milk, which was hard, that is my weakness. I am missing my chocolate milk already. It's been like 2 days since I've not had any chocolate milk. I'm like, oh, I want my chocolate milk. My Highlands chocolate milk, that is. If any of you ever seen any of my videos, you know that I love my chocolate milk. My Highlands chocolate milk. Your girl here is addicted to that stuff. I am not even joking. There's something, it's probably all the sugar that's in it that I'm addicted to. So I've been off of that for 2 days, but also because of all this, I have to get up each day to fix meals, and with my chronic fatigue, I get in the kitchen and I get so hot so quick, and I don't handle the heat very well. I get in there, I'm sweating buckets. So because of it, I've lost quite a bit of weight lately. In the last 2 weeks, I think I lost like 10 pounds, give or take. So, which I don't mind that. But yeah, it just, that was my go-to, that was my comfort drink. So that's rough for me to give up. You know how a lot of people have comfort foods? That was my comfort drink when I'm stressed and worried and all this kind of stuff. So I'm having to come up with healthier options. So because my blood sugar levels being so high because of the chocolate milk and other things too, because of food as well, I'm having a heck of a time. I'm gonna have to talk to a dietitian, see if I can come up with ideas of diabetic friendly foods. That's the thing. I need diabetic friendly foods, and so is Anthony. So I've been doing, for him and I've been trying to do low carb. Well, particularly myself, I've been trying to watch my carbs and not go over 52 carbs a day. And that's hard because Mom and Dad, they barely eat like little birds. So they need the carbs and the calories. So when I'm trying to cook things, it's like I'm trying to get a balance here. So for all of us to eat healthy for our needs. So that's hard. My biggest worry right now is Anthony's not been feeling good lately. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he got a little bit of a touch of food poisoning somehow. I don't know, but if he did, he's the only one that's been sick in the house with it. So I don't know. Ever since he'd been on certain medications, his body doesn't always react well to certain foods, I guess. So I'm hoping he gets feeling better, because that's the hard part for me right now, is trying to take care of everybody and myself, but mostly take care of everybody. I think that's partly a trauma response in me, feeling like I have to take care of everybody. Even if I'm not doing good, I have to take care of everybody. I feel like it's my duty. So I need to probably talk to a therapist about such things and kind of work through things, because I'm pretty sure it's a trauma response for me anyways, because certain things I do, not only that but other things too, this trauma responses. So that's another thing. I'm needing to switch therapist. The place where Anthony and I are going to see our family doctor as well as my therapist, I'm not happy with them lately. And so we're going to be trying to switch to a different clinic and getting a different doctor that's, from the way everybody in town talks, is a really good doctor, especially my mom. She goes to her and she doesn't like doctors. So for her to say that this doctor is a good doctor and listens to her thing, I'm willing to give her a try, because the place that we're going to at the moment, they don't listen to us, to Anthony and I, about our illnesses, what we're dealing with. They don't even, like this last time for my skin picking, the doctor I have currently was supposed to prescribe me some medication for my skin picking, a different medication though I was previously on. I'm still having issues with it. Not as much as I was. Well, depends on how stressed I am. That's the key. But she's supposed to prescribe some medication for me, and it's supposed to be sent over to Walmart. It's been a month. It's never gotten there. And I'm pretty sure, and plus there's another thing that she's supposed to, okay, you know how when you get older, they send out these kits that you're supposed to poop in, and you mail it off to see how your colon is and everything. A poop kit, I guess you say. Sorry, I hate talking about this kind of stuff. But yeah, she was supposed to send me one of those also. She's supposed to have the medication sent to Walmart for me, and have one of those sent for me to my home. Didn't get either one of them. And I'm pretty sure it's because when I last had my appointment last month, I'd asked her for a medication to help with weight loss. I named a specific shot medication that starts with an O. If I say it on here, YouTube will have a cow. But if anybody wants to know what I'm talking about, you can send me a message on Instagram. But it starts with the O. And it's supposed to be very well known that it's good for weight loss. Well, before I could ever be put on such medication, I have to go through like 3 or 4 medications first because of insurance. So the first one I'd start with, it starts with a MET. It's usually for diabetics. Pretty sure that you guys that are diabetics or have known diabetics probably know what this medication is. The last part of it is Forum. She wanted to put me on that. And I was like, oh, heck no. I do not wish to crap myself to lose a few pounds. No, thank you. Well, I think that made her mad because I refused it. I've seen Anthony and I've heard other people have horror stories about on such medication. Now, on the other hand, I have known a few people that have had good results. So it could go either way. But I'm not real keen on trying it just to take that chance of, because I've seen Anthony go through the horrors of that. Unknown to him, I've cried myself to sleep sometimes because of how he's had to deal with that medication. It's not been good for him. So I did not wish to be put on it. So because of it, this doctor, I think that's the reason she's not done, sent my other medication to Walmart and had the other things sent to me. I don't know for certain. So I have an appointment coming up in a couple days, and I want to ask her about it. I'm going to call her out on it. So, because I want to know what the deal is. And from there, I think that's going to be my last appointment at where we go to. And we'll switch to the other clinic with a better doctor. The other thing is my therapist I currently have. Oh, and also the last couple of family doctors I've had at this place that I go to currently are good at gaslighting me and Anthony. And I'm really tired of that. Same with my therapist. Gaslighting me all the time. And if I mention Dad, had a burst of anger and all this kind of stuff, he doesn't even know Dad. He's never seen my dad. He doesn't know my dad's history other than what little tiny bits I've told him about Dad. He automatically says that Dad has dementia. How can you diagnose somebody if you never actually even met them and you haven't tested them or nothing? So I don't agree with that type of practice. So I'm going to be switching to a different therapist once I get switched to the other clinic. Because he's been doing this for quite a while, and I've let it go and let it go. I've noticed that every time, it's not just with Dad. And when I mention anything, like if I've had an issue with one of the ladies up at the family services office, when I was trying to get things going about my cataract surgery, and she was a real bee, he made excuses for her. Now, all kinds of stuff. Same with other people I mentioned that I had issues with. I don't normally have issues with people, but these couple of people were acting like bees to me when I was trying to get things going about my cataract surgery. And each and every single one, he made excuses for them. Instead of listening to my feelings and what I was saying. I don't care what he thinks about. Oh, they're having a bad day. Oh. It's like, you're there. You're supposed to be my therapist to listen to me. It's like, what the heck? So, yeah, I'm going to be find a different therapist. And I think I've been thinking about it for a while anyways, thinking about I need to find a better one that I can actually talk through. See, the one I go to is a CBT therapist. And I'm not saying he's all bad. The one I go to, he's not all bad. He's actually helped me particularly a lot a couple years ago when I was really needing help. Back then I was considering things that I shouldn't have been considering between life and death. And he helped me through all that. So I appreciate. But on some of the other things, I don't. So, yeah, but I think it's time for me to find an actual new therapist that I can actually talk through about some of the things that have happened to me. Which has been a long time for me to get to this point to want to talk about some of the things that have happened to me. It's hard. Other than that, I think that's about it. Just please keep me and my family in prayers and thought, and help me keep my sanity. Overall, though, I think we're doing pretty good. Other than Anthony not feeling good, but he's been taking medication for it, so I think he's hopefully on the road to recovery on that part. So, oh, one other thing, as far as Anthony, he had an appointment recently with his nephrologist, and for quite a while now, for probably about a year or more, he's been right on that edge, teetering back and forth of being stage 5 or stage 4 kidney failure to stage 5 kidney failure. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Sorry. This is hard for me to talk about because sorry. Deals with me potentially losing him to kidney failure. And I know it's going to happen eventually. Partly, he had a rough start from the beginning when we didn't know he was diabetic beforehand. Back in 2011, when he was working in a factory and it was hot, and there's no air conditioning, and he was so thirsty all the time, he thought it was just heat related. So he drank everything in sight: orange juice, pop, tea, milk, water, anything he could get his hands on. Well, it pushed his sugar up, and then he started to have memory issues, and I ended up having to take him to the hospital. And that's when we found out he had diabetes. At that time, when I got him to the hospital, when they finally tested his blood sugar, he'd been in there for quite a while before they finally tested, but his blood sugar was at 1,030. So he had a rough go there at the beginning when finding out he was diabetic. And I think that really damaged his memory and his organs and everything. I'm surprised the man is still alive, to be honest. Now, granted, we don't always eat the healthiest for diabetics. I think I'm, for the most part, well, other than the video I just did a little while ago, which is probably full of carbs, I'm trying myself to eat better than what I had been. I'm trying to do a low carb diet, which, like I said, tonight's video, or last night's video, I guess it was not low carb, but I didn't eat very much of it. I'm trying to do better on mine because I've seen what he's gone through. So, and he's trying to do better somewhat. He's so used to eating certain ways. So, but anyway, we all pick our poison and we all make our mistakes. So, it is what it is. But, like I said, he's on that teetering between stage 4 and stage 5. The nephrologist was actually shocked that he's not actually stage 5 already. I think the biggest key is he's been drinking distilled water, lots of distilled water every day to keep his blood sugar down and keep his legs from swelling and all that kind of stuff. You know, trying to keep things functioning as best as possible. Excuse me. And when we had this last appointment, I thought sure he was going to already be into stage 5, even a little bit into stage 5, and have to start dialysis. But not yet. So I'm proud of him on that part, at least. But so yeah, he's, like I said, teetering. But he did go ahead and put his name on a waiting list for a new kidney, which might take years, who knows. So if he does cross over to stage 5, he'll go ahead and start the dialysis while waiting. I'm going to have myself tested next time I see the doctor, and just to see if I'm a candidate to help him. I know a lot of people think, oh, you should find a different husband, he's mean to you, blah 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 blah. You know what, there's lots of men I could be with. And yeah, Anthony can be a jerk sometimes. I'll admit it. He used to be a lot worse before we knew he was diabetic. Because back then, I'm thinking his blood sugar would get high, and we didn't know he was diabetic. It would make him like an angry drunk and very abusive, verbally and mentally abusive, emotionally. I've been through worse. So since we got him diagnosed with diabetes, it's like I've married a whole different man compared to what I used to deal with. And currently, I don't want anybody else. Yeah, there have been times I've had men trying to sway me away from him, but I'm here. I'm here to stay for the long haul. Him and I have been married 26 years now, and I'm not going anywhere. You know, if heaven forbid he dies, I don't know what the future holds on that. So, but until then, I'm here. So, but so yeah, I am pretty worried about him. But I am proud that he hasn't crossed over to that other stage yet. So a lot of it was getting him off of some of the medications that he was on. That was a big part of it. So anywho, I don't know if I think I got sidetracked on what I was originally going to say about all that, but it is what it is. But yeah, I am stressed about all that and worried, because I worry about losing him. I worry about losing my parents, especially after my mama had her stroke. I just like, whoa. You know, I worry about losing both my parents and Anthony, and not knowing where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. So, but for the moment, I'm living in the moment, and I'm enjoying every moment I have with them. So, anywho, if you could all please just keep us in thought and prayer and all that kind of good stuff. I think I'm gonna get ready to scoot. I think it's starting to get dark. So, all right, bye bye, guys. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. And I'll catch you again later. So hopefully I have some better news next time. That's why I was intending on having this time, but yeah. So, well, some of it's kind of good news. It's a mix. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.